Welcome to another episode of Lifestyle After Five. Happy to be here another Wednesday with y'all. We got an awesome guest local to the Atlanta area. But before we dive into that, let me introduce my co-host. We got MD Red.
What up, peoples?
And we got Danielle, aka the lovely, sexy Crypt Keeper, with us.
What's up?
Before we dive into this episode, don't forget to go to www.ollieafter5.com and check out some of our t-shirts, some of our gear, and our YouTube channel and Facebook. Lifestyle After Five. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Today, we got Chef Todd in the house. Cooking all the way. Chef Todd, and he's from Atlanta. To the show, Chef Todd. We got a nice culinary experience. He said he has a nice culinary experience for you. We're going to jump right in tonight. I want you to tell us about your background. Because from my understanding, you cook Mediterranean food. You have a Mediterranean restaurant?
So I do have a Mediterranean restaurant in Alpharetta, Georgia right now. But I didn't start out in that, I guess, cuisine. But taking it all the way back, I've been a chef for almost 12 years now. So taking it back, went to culinary school in Orlando, Florida, which is originally where I'm from.
407.
Yeah, 407. So went to culinary school there. Learned a lot. Started my journey there, restaurants. Then once I got in the private chef scene, I took off with that. Danielle knows I selling plates out the house, doing, trapping it out, doing all of that stuff as well. And then got a little bit more professional, got a few, private chef clients, NBA players, celebrities, that type of thing, and just kept growing with it.
That's quite impressive.
Listen, to watch him grow to where he's at today, it makes me so happy. I remember when he was going to school back in 2000 even before school.
Yeah, what we were doing like the house party thing.
Yeah,
we were cooking different. Yeah, we was doing all kinds of stuff.
He was doing parties and chefing it up in the kitchen and serving plates and at it wasn't American Legion, was it?
No. What was that
Better say you really earned your roots there. You started out cooking sandwiches at the American Legion.
It was almost like that.
It was like that. I forgot where that place was. It was over there where by the Magic Mall, Danielle?
Yes.
Yeah, that's where it was.
The little hood spot.
Yeah, the little hood spot.
I learned reminiscing.
Y'all we talk about partying? We used to party. We used to party.
I guess there wasn't no need for Waffle House or IHOP afterwards. After the party, you come in and cook it up.
Yeah, we had our own little thing going. We didn't need to do that.
Who started you cooking, man?
Believe it or not, my pops was the major influence. So his middle name, my middle name is Todd. His middle name is Todd. So that's where the Chef Todd comes from. Okay. But it was mostly my pops, a little bit of my grandmother. And so them two kind of influenced me a lot. Cooked for my two younger siblings growing up, that type of thing. So that's where it kind of started at. And then culinary school thing kind of took it to the next level.
Okay. Shout out to all the black men out there cooking.
Real men cook.
Listen, if I can have a man that cooks, I'll pay all the bills.
I'm about to enroll in culinary school. Chef Todd, can you teach me how to cook?
Listen, if I'm
about to get these bills paid.
Teach you everything you need to know.
You pay your car payment, but I got the rent.
That's fine.
Mortgage, I got it all. I hate
Hey, y'all hear that? Hey, y'all hear this out there in the world? You can cook. They're paying the bills.
I make money, so I'm good over here.
Only thing about it, she ain't got in the funeral home, so
she got dead presidents for real.
Oh my God.
But you know what? It's crazy because a lot of like what I experienced in Atlanta, a lot of women don't really know how to cook like that.
That's the new generation. I believe it's the new generation of women don't know how to cook.
Probably not getting married. That's another topic though.
They say a way to a man's heart is through his stomach.
And when you talking about takeout,
but you're eating, right? You hungry? You got that?
no, it's different. I go get my own takeout.
Yeah.
Get in that kitchen and whip that
different.
biscuit up from scratch. It hit different.
So, Chef Todd, I want to know how you go from the clubs, barbecuing to Mediterranean. That's usually something you don't find a brother into. I mean, it's almost like, did you have to take a trip to Mecca and be initiated or something and be handed something to become a Mediterranean chef? I mean, that's impressive.
You said Mecca.
So what I'll say is that on the business end of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
As I got more kind of seasoned in my, culinary career, what I noticed was if you look at a lot of, different areas, so the area that the restaurant is in is predominantly like Indian and Middle Eastern, influenced.
Mm-hmm.
So the Mediterranean made sense, right? Because in that area, most of those people are going to, buy that food. So
yeah,
when me and my business partners decided to get that restaurant, it was more of like, hey, like on the business end, this makes sense. And then just got into it and marketed to those people.
Do they kind of look at you funny when they
I'm
walk
not gonna
in?
lie to you. Sometimes when they come in, they ask who's the owner, are they, where they from, and that type of thing. And at first, it was like the owner's out of town type thing. But eventually, once they taste the food, we got a lot of great reviews. A lot of people were like, the food tastes better than it did before. So then they kind of got to like it to me. But, it was kind of crazy at first because, they walk in, they see a 6'4" black man with a beard. It's like, hold on.
Ain't no way he cooking this.
Ain't no way he cooking that.
It would be hilarious if you would just get like a picture transcribed and you in some type of Mediterranean gear or something, just have it picture of you just on the wall when they walk in. It's almost like Bruce Leroy or something. Yeah, it's kind of like I can understand they frustration. Like when I walk into a restaurant and it's like a soul food, like Larry's soul food and fried chicken, and then I go in there and it's Asians behind the grill. What's up, my brother?
Yeah. But the crazy thing about it, if you think about it, they do that to us all the time.
They do.
Yeah.
They know how to capitalize.
Absolutely. The one thing I learned on the business end though is if you got a good product and you know how to market it, good customer service gonna win them over every time.
All day, every day, brother.
Especially in Atlanta.
Yeah, especially in Atlanta.
Really? I'll be there next week.
Hey.
I'm coming. I'm gonna try the food. I'm coming in. I'm looking for Chef Todd.
Coming in hot.
So what some of the initial challenges you faced as a chef?
So I would say initially, because I didn't have any like real restaurant experience, just getting in, I think I worked like 3 jobs just to be in the kitchen as much as I could. I think the first real chef job, I had to start out like, dishwash, prep, all that just in like $9 an hour, just so I can be in the kitchen and get the experience. But I mean, a lot of what people don't know is, man, that industry is like super cutthroat, especially like in Orlando, where you got Disney, you got all of these high-end restaurants. These people fighting for those positions. They're not just gonna give it to you. So, you really gotta, gotta be there first, gotta leave last, gotta work harder than other people, especially as a black man. I'm definitely gonna have to do 15 times more. So, I would say that for sure. And then just being judged by my ability versus, how I look or anything like that.
Yeah.
You would bring that up. I thought brother would have a chance in that too, but I've never heard. Well, actually, I've never really talked with a chef to bring me this side, the business side of what you go through on the business end and what you face as a chef, especially being a black chef.
Mm-hmm.
But we were talking about the product early, and I ain't gonna lie, I was on your Instagram early, and I seen you had this like thing look like a brontosaurus. You was basting
Oh,
on there with leaves on there. It looked good. I don't know what it was, but it's like you had leaves and you was brushing those herbs and spices on there. It looked
yeah,
mouthwatering.
yeah. So
And I said,
that was actually a whole lamb that we did
oh
for Taste
man.
of Alpharetta. Yeah.
Now so
I was
you
messing with the people out there though, because everybody was asking me about it. I told them it was a Rottweiler, but but it was fun though. That was fun. We had fun with that.
I seen you with the plates of I guess it was salmon and the yellow rice.
Yes.
Man,
So
yeah,
we
the fish.
I did a dinner party with that.
Yeah, that was a nice demonstration and display.
Note to self: don't do an interview with a chef when you're hungry, because I'm starving and my stomach's like. Brrr.
Yeah, that was a bad idea.
I could use me some lamb right now. I could use a good leg of lamb.
Lamb chops.
Definitely.
I feel like man, in Atlanta, I don't even know how we keep up with the amount of lamb chops they serve. Like I don't even know where they coming from, but they give them somewhere.
Don't say that.
Rottweiler.
It probably is.
Need to invest into a farm and raise some lambs.
Yeah, especially in Georgia, you're gonna make some money because Lord.
That's everywhere, man. For real though, they ain't really just
Yeah,
Georgia.
no, yeah, that's
Everybody
true.
like lamb chops for some reason.
I do not like lamb chops. It tastes like it just came from, I don't know. It's like no, like I'm not a fan.
You like the gamey taste?
No, it feels like I don't like it.
I'll put some sauce on that bad boy, and
Boy,
you won't. You hand me
gotta
lamb
have the
chops,
right
I hand you
seasoning.
bones back. Now, now, Chef Todd, you mentioned that your father inspired you in Atlanta, and with the cutthroatness, most people, it was easier, like you said, you started at $9 an hour. I'm pretty sure it was easier to just say, you know what, forget this. I can go do something else. I can get another job. What kept you motivated?
Honestly, I've always been a creative at heart anyway. So Culinary gave me definitely an outlet for that. So, even though my dad gave me kind of like some foundational pieces when it came to that, I definitely, kind of took that baton and ran with it. So it always gave me the ability to be able to create different dishes and explore, that side of things. And I was blessed enough to the first restaurant I ever worked at as a professional was a global tapas restaurant. So we did a lot of different cuisines from all over the world and a lot of fusion of those, cuisines. So for me, learning that initially when I first got in, it made it easy for me to kind of dibble and dabble in like Mediterranean and Thai and whatever else.
That's cool you say that, man. Because a lot of people don't realize like cooking, it's like an art, a form of art. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And any dish could be your own. You put your own little twist on it, man. You can change any dish to make it your own. So like that's dope of you to create a mind like to make food look good, taste good. Make people. I mean, people like they happy when they eat. So you winning for real.
Right.
Yeah.
Even to venture out of the palate, because especially with the Black race, we kind of don't want to venture out.
Yeah.
Things, we're like, oh, fried chicken, lamb chops, seafood boils and stuff like that. But for you to go out and try, for you to go out and try cuisines and different, international foods, that's amazing.
Yeah. And me and you had this discussion before, Danielle, about not limiting yourself in that way professionally, because what'll happen is like then you only get certain clientele. And because I knew I wanted to go after like the high end clientele that could afford to pay for personal chefs, I was like, okay, I need to be able to cook anything.
Yeah.
So that if an Indian family called me, an African family called me, I don't have to say no. You know what I mean?
That's amazing.
That was smart. That was smart.
Oh, listen, we've had many business conversations throughout the years, especially since I moved out here, of just like avenues to take, when we're both scared to, for me, not trying to take subject of, starting my own funeral business, for him starting his own, we've helped each other out along that way. Advice here. And again, that's another problem. We don't always want to share our, our aspects, our opinions. because we want to keep it close heart. But with Chef Todd, you can come to the table. He can tell you, this is what you should do. You maybe should add this to it. Amazing person.
So that come up. The two of you working together would work out well. I mean, Chef Todd can come up with the repast special.
We did talk about that though. We really did.
Yeah, we
The
talked about
repast
that.
menu, 2 or 3 repast specials. You want number one. How did he live? Was he a partier and everything else? I got the hot wings and the chicken and everything else. Was there more conservative business type? I may have a little filet mignon, or you might cut a roast up to make it look like a filet mignon. Affordable options. Or if you were a GoFundMe funeral, burger for your repast. You got a package for everybody, You got to look out for everybody.
We making business opportunities over
here. We don't turn nothing down. It's kind of like
we
when I watch on TV. When you watch them on TV and you watch the dope deal, and I heard them say, I even got for if you got $1, I got something for you. So.
Oh my God! Why are you?
For that one guy to come in, I just want one reel. We can make that sale.
Yeah, right. Better pay this funeral before you get any kind of food. That body coming right back to you.
But I applaud you, bro, for branching out the different tastes or whatever. But a lot of people don't realize there's a difference. So, can you explain to people what's fine cuisine and between regular food?
So right, I would say this, right? Like, as far as I guess what we consider soul food to consider like black cuisine, right? Mm-hmm. Every culture, I think a lot of people don't understand. Every culture has its own like soul food, right?
Right.
So as you kind of get into it, you start realizing, okay, like this is this region's that and this region's this, right? Mm-hmm. So what I would say the difference in like fine dining and I guess your regular everyday like meal is that honestly, most of the fine dining restaurants, it's smaller quantity, but it's like more intense flavors or more rare items that they're cooking, right? Mm-hmm. Now, me personally, I feel like you gotta try to find a middle ground. Some stuff like if you go to if you go to Nobu, they got like them little mini tacos, and you probably paying $30 for $40 tacos, right? Now, because they already done established, a name, that's why they can get away with that.
Yeah, you don't question it.
You don't question it. But to be honest with you, it's like it ain't really worth that.
They'll be hidden.
Yeah, then again,
be no dates.
And you're paying for the name, right? That you ate at like Ruth Chris. I cannot stand Ruth Chris is simple to me. Like I'm just like whatever. Like you can go to Texas Roadhouse and probably get better steak, and people probably
say
that. Huh?
I don't know about that one.
That's cat.
That's cat. That's sweet potato casserole.
I'm gonna tell you.
That steak at Ruth Chris hit way different from Roadhouse.
I'm gonna say it hit different, but I will say this: if you think about when they first came out, it has went down. But all restaurants do that though. Like Red Lobster used to be good. They established themselves. And then they just all right. Now we gonna feed y'all.
We got them now. They gonna pay regardless. We got them.
To be fair to Red Lobster, Red Lobster went down here when they sold off the restaurants to the corporations. Once any chain or any mom and like Whataburger, Taco Cabana, once they all got sold to the corporations, quality gonna go down. That's just an automatic.
I'm gonna tell you though, the crazy thing is like that. A lot of people don't know that that's the goal anyway, right? Yeah. It's like, okay, you take like a small mom and pop restaurant, right? Mm-hmm. You get so big that a big fish is like, all right, I got to take you out of the marketplace. So I got to buy you out because I don't need you taking too much of that pie. And then, now the person who owned it, who started it, they're going to get paid. But the quality is definitely going down.
Yeah. And they look at the money, right? So they're like, all right, fine. I'll walk away with $2 million or $3 million.
I'm not mad at them, but I mean, as the consumer, I just know, once they have been bought out by the corporations, I don't expect the same quality. I'm like,
Oh
you know,
yeah, that's true.
it's
You shouldn't.
dead
I
going
don't
down.
think.
But now,
I can't
I
even
will
remember
say,
last time I ate them places.
now I will say, Roadhouse does has a good steak, and so does Longhorn. But like I said, it's something special about that Root Chris, that quality steak and that sweet potato casserole. And I do appreciate the portions, although they charge like $20. But I do appreciate they do give me a big portion for it at Root Chris,
Right.
and you
Low
pay for the
price, but you
atmosphere.
get what you pay for in there. I don't think
You
it's
pay for
outrageous in price.
I mean, I'm telling you, you paying for most of the fine dining restaurants. You paying for the name and the
yeah,
ambiance.
yeah.
Ambiance.
I light your little candle, put on a cloth over that table.
Nah. Because
Chef
when I
Todd,
go in there,
hone
I had
in.
a dude still by my table with the white cloth on his arm and shit, like Jeffrey from the Fresh Prince the whole time. I was like, oh, we balling.
Look,
But
and when
look
they
though,
come crack,
it's
and when
hard
they
to
come
find
crack
them
the
people.
pepper, and when they come
Yeah.
crack the pepper at your table, I be working the shit out of them. No, I ain't done yet. Keep cracking that pepper. I like a lot of pepper.
My glass got empty. He had to post more.
Hey, listen, you gotta get your money worth.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Oh yeah, you gonna work for this tip.
Yeah. I mean, I tipped him good, but I had a good experience in there, so I'll say that it was worth the money for me. But it's not something I would do every day.
Yeah, no. But I mean, I think in the restaurant industry, that's where the divide is going, right? It's like you got the experience based restaurants, like where you're gonna get like some ambiance and all that stuff, and then that middle ground between, I guess, like mom and pop and fast food is kind of dying out because most people, number one, they can't find no workers.
Yeah.
People ain't about to work in there for no
Right.
$13, $14 an hour. So,
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if pretty soon people can't afford to go out. It's this. I would call him somewhat of a celebrity that's got some restaurants in Miami, North Carolina, and Baltimore, and they brand it as fine black dining. But and I'm not gonna lie, I went to it in Baltimore, and it is a nice atmosphere. It's on the harbor if it's still open.
Did they
But
close?
the thing, oh, and it should have, because the thing that pissed me off about it was I ordered some chicken wings, and the chicken wings was $20, and that didn't include any fries with that. Just some, I think a nine
$20
piece.
chicken wings.
$20
How
for
many
nine, six, it's somewhere between 6, 9 chicken wings, and I did get
Nah.
some blue cheese. And then when the bill came in, on top of that, and I had 2 drinks, I was expected to tip not only the waiter, but I had to tip. Matter of fact, they gave us a briefing. It was when I was working in the Baltimore area. We went out there for an event, and they explained to us, the waitress explained to us that the tip is you tip in the waitress, and then you had to tip the staff in the back, the cooks and the people that's
Yeah.
washing dishes. So you had their fee. So you had a service fee charged on to pay their salary, plus you had to pay for your meal, plus they expected a tip. So chicken wing and 2 drinks was damn near 60 some damn dollars, and I'm like,
What?
I shouldn't be expected to pay for the salaries in the back. So I just want your opinion on that. Is that something you've seen? Is that something you
So,
see a new trend that's coming?
now I will say this. I do believe it's somewhat of a new trend that's coming, only because number one, it's hard to find good help. And so what's going on is a lot of these people who open restaurants, just like I feel like any industry, if you don't love being a teacher, don't become no teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it's like a lot of these people get into the restaurant industry, they are not wanting to be of service. So then they're looking for the money, and then they're not offering, a
Service.
superior experience or service. And then so now they're just like, okay, so instead of offering that, I'm gonna just charge the hell out your ass.
But then they're even adding gratuity to it, like automatically 20%, and the service could suck, and they don't care. And it's like, well, I'm still getting a tip.
But that's why they do it, because
Yeah.
they don't want to provide the
Correct.
service that would make you give them the gratuity. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason why places like Chick-fil-A, have great service. They put that into their business model.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of these restaurants, they're not going that in depth on it. They're just trying to open something, get a quick dollar. That's what it is.
And that's where people are dropping the ball at. Like, they don't understand. Like, not even just food service. If you touch a customer, like customer service, and they feel like you really like looked out for them, bro, they gonna come back.
Absolutely.
It's creating an experience. No matter what job you in, if you dealing with a customer base, you have to create an experience that makes them want to come back.
People remember how you treat them,
Exactly.
way longer than they remember what the product is. The food could be good if they got bad service. They may still not come back, or they may just order it to go.
You remember, if you go online and you're looking at reviews, you're looking at the negative reviews before you look at the positive. And when I was a manager at Starbucks, I'm like, I don't care. That's that one negative review that can hurt you.
Absolutely.
If the food was nasty, the food was cold, I'm not going to take a chance. And then I see 8 1 stars and 10 5 stars. I'm still looking at the 8 and like, I'll just go somewhere else that I know that
At the same time, I've been a victim of the reverse, the opposite, where I think I'm very customer service oriented, and I remember one time when I was finishing bartending school and I wanted some bartending experience, so I signed up for this staffing agency, $11 an hour, and they had this this science event. And I'm walking around and I'm serving, I'm trying to serve wine. The lady asked for some wine, and the people were kind of rude. And I never will forget my experience, because we had this manager that was running this thing, Tulu. And I still remember his name to this day, and that's been over 10 years ago. And Tulu was just rude for no reason at all. And he would just scream and would holler at us like, get over here, do like this and do that. And at the time, I had a full-time job, and I'm like, I don't have to do this. And, I'm in the middle of pour wine, and Tulu is just like, come here now. You need to do this. And I'm not gonna lie, I almost lost my temper, but I sized Tulu up and I came up a little short, sized him up. So I figured the best thing for me to do was just walk away, and that it wasn't gonna end well if I'd have swole off on Tulu. So we ended up just leaving. And, the staffing agency, they called and they apologized, and they tried to get me to come back and accept other jobs or whatever. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm good. But you have to treat your workers well too.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you made that executive decision and left.
Oh yeah, I was mad, but I wasn't no fool. That's what I said. You can control your anger. You can get mad, but when you walk away, and Tulu look like he can throw them things. So, I didn't. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Tulu, I think it's from some country in Africa, and I didn't want my feelings hurt in my ass too.
Listen. Sometimes you gotta know when to fold them.
Yeah, that was damn short time. It was me. I never forget. It was me and this white dude. We kind of looked at each other like, man, let's just go. Yeah, let's walk. I'm with you, dog. I'm out.
So, Chef, how do you handle the pressure and fast-paced environment of a professional kitchen?
So I would say, like, that had a lot to do with my upbringing, but I'm a person that kind of adopts the hard, right? Because if you, just like with anything, you lifting weights, it's gonna hurt at first, until you get used to it. So, but there's no need, if you run away from that, you're never going to get to a point where you can handle that pressure. So you gotta lean into it, really, and then you figure a lot of that out on the way. In restaurants, if something can go wrong, it's gonna go wrong, to be honest. So, what we call in the weeds, when the ticket's behind, people waiting on food, it's like you gotta accept that you're there. And now you gotta, figure out how to, cut some time off of it and speed up. But the only way you're gonna, learn that is you just gotta be in it. So I would say for me, it's just about adopting the hard, and then, just acclimating myself to being able to. And then eventually I just got used to it, to the point where, you are able to do, multitask and do, so many things at once, which makes it just easier when the busy times happen.
Mm-hmm. Amazing.
Do you have any funny stories or some experiences you want to share that's happened in your kitchen, or a kitchen you have been in?
Yeah. So first restaurant, that was so it was a part of a restaurant group, right? So they had 10 restaurants, but eventually I ended up being the executive chef there. And man, I think I went through so many changes. I think maybe 4 chefs got fired, right? And in the midst of that, they had chefs getting, first of all, I had no idea when I first got into the culinary industry, right? So I was just a virgin to everything, right? So I'm in there thinking everybody trying to, be the best chef that they can be, but now that's not how it necessarily worked. So, I mean, you had people, snorting coke in the freezer. You had,
Wow.
yeah, it was crazy. I mean, you had shit. People, I think one of the chefs got fired for having sex in the freezer with somebody. Like, it was crazy. So, I mean, and so for me, it's like being in that type of environment and trying to, hey, look, now I'm gonna separate myself and make sure I do this so that I can grow. I mean, it was difficult. And Danielle, you know what restaurant I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Casa downtown, like, and that it was so busy all the time, especially on like wind down Wednesdays and brunch, that it was always something crazy going on, like every single day. I mean, I've seen a chef fire somebody and get punched in the face.
Ooh.
I've seen
These are
man, it was a reality show almost, to be
and
honest.
Florida. And it's Florida, so we're
That
not
is
rap
Florida,
type. So anything is liable.
Oh, that's the Orlando area?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy because it's like more happened in Orlando than I would say in Atlanta. I ain't really have too many crazy. Well,
Well,
other than
as they say, all crazy things happen in Florida.
They said it all the time.
That's always Florida.
I'll say this, right? In Atlanta, the only thing I did notice is like the stuff they allow people to get away with. Like dude's going on a break and he going to like smoke a blunt, and I'm just like, what? Like you could do that?
They know he going to smoke a blunt.
Yeah, he telling the
But
chef.
he probably works better high. So they're like, go ahead, come on.
Yeah, he telling the chef, hey, I'm gonna go out here and smoke the blunt. You wanna hit this too? And it's like, what? That's what y'all doing?
Well, that's the Atlanta culture. What up, show them? I'm gonna go poke their blunt real quick.
Yeah.
What he don't know, if you bring your ass in there high, you get burnt. You getting fired.
Right, don't get hurt.
And you don't get and no workman's comp.
I'm like, these people, the whole kitchen line hot as hell, but they still doing brunch. I'm like, it's crazy.
That's why it be so slow.
Man, that's tough, man.
And certain restaurants in Atlanta, and certain ones I've been to that's real popular and famous. You can get everything but food. They got the music, they got the DJ and everything else, but shit, you place your order when you first get in there. You might get it by the time you leave.
Yeah, you might.
But I
I'll
am
call
curious.
it in.
Oh yeah, I'm curious. What is it like when you fire a chef? Is it like a board, and then they call you to the table, and it's like, Chef so and so, please approach the board. You've been
Believe it or
chopped.
not, I feel like
You've been chopped. Please turn in your apron.
I mean, honestly, it depends. It depends on who it is. Just like with any job, you got some people they ain't all there. You gotta be careful how you fire.
You gotta fire their ass at home.
You know what I'm saying? You might have to call him on the phone. Let him come.
You just send him you just send him a chopping knife. You just send him a chopping knife. You've been chopped.
Right. You gotta
Don't come back.
Don't come back.
Sensitive conversations.
Yeah, but then you gotta watch because people are nuts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
then you in there with all them knives and everything.
Yeah.
So buddy that went got high, you got to fire him on the phone.
What is that game where you swipe the fruit? The
fruit ninja.
Yeah. And then here I am in business again.
Hey.
We
already talked to the authorities and we talked to your probation officer, but we gotta let you go, so don't come in today.
Listen, most of the time when I see people get fired, I kid you not, unless it's the head chef, security always involved every single time.
They gotta be.
Well, did you see the video?
We tearing some shit up. Am I lying?
Yeah, that's how we is. On the
Well,
way
did you?
out, I'm knocking all this shit over.
And
Yeah.
you're wrong. And you're still wrong, and you're mad that you got caught. And you know damn well you stole that money out that cash register.
That's
Yeah.
You stealing meat out the freezer, and then you giving them a bad review. No, you had a barbecue with them folks' meat, but you want to say that they tripping. They fired you. They fired me for no reason, man. Accused me of stealing meat. Man, you just have a barbecue last weekend. Hey, but did you not see that viral video of this woman at this fast food restaurant? I forget the restaurant. This couple goes to the drive-thru. They place the order. She messes the order up. He says something to her. She pulls a damn gun out and starts busting at him through the drive-thru window.
No, I ain't even
And
see
you can
that, but
see it
that's
from the
crazy.
restaurant camera. He takes off. They call the cops, and you can see her coworker like it's no big thing. Like, oh, like she pop off all the time. She was like kind of like patting on the back, like, go. Look. You can see her kind of motion, like, girl, put that gun down and chill. And the funny thing is, she puts the gun back in her pocket and go back to work.
Yeah,
It wasn't until the police see the video, because no one believed that she shot at them. I mean, it's in white cover. She shot at it, and you know she had to be black. So even the police didn't believe that she had done that until they went back and watched the film. Like, you literally shot at these people over the order because they didn't want this stuff. I mean, you talk about bad customer service. But then on the other end, you know, it's that one guy that went to jail for pulling a gun on his employees for being late. He pistol whipped the one for being late. So people are going crazy out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it ain't never that serious.
Wrapped up short.
Shoved up. I mean, you can't argue with anybody anymore.
I'm
Like
talking about at work and everything, strapped up.
But that day you fought it out and you move on with your day. Now these people, anyway, do not promote violence. We're just going by what we see on social
All
media.
you gotta do is tell me to leave. Don't put your hands on me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just don't put your hands on me.
Yeah. You got to remember, they always say, don't piss the chef off and don't keep sending something back talking about it ain't right. You might get the special sauce.
Listen, I worked in food for 15 years, short order cook. I done seen some people food get fucked up.
Oh yeah, it'll happen.
I ain't gonna say where, but I done seen some shit happen.
All right, next topic. We need people to come to his restaurant. Next topic.
Yeah, for real.
We're not saying that it happened there. We're just going through his journey.
Yeah.
Of becoming the chef. Like I said, he's at the top of Mecca now, right now. He's a Mediterranean chef. And he's cooking whole lambs and brontosauruses on sidewalks and stuff now. I mean, he's not doing chops no more. This man is literally cooking the whole animal for you now. I mean, he's taking pigs and apples in their mouths and roasting them and turning them over with sticks and stuff. This is fine cuisine and putting on a show in front of y'all. Don't believe that, man. Check this out. What's it? Chef Todd at Instagram at Chef Todd. Yeah, go check that man out. I mean, they turning animals on sticks and cooking it and roasting it. I mean, that's fine dining cuisine.
He went from chicken wings to a whole Rottweiler. I'm telling you, I've seen this man grow from the stuff that from first when he started to now. I'm just like, oh wow. And a private chef for NFL players and NBA players, and like, I'm proud of you.
I want to ask you about that. Like, so you do private chef too. So which would you prefer, restaurant or just private?
Man, honestly, private chef is where it's at. I would say, if for me, only because I'm trying to grow something bigger than myself is why I'm in the restaurant game. But if I was just on some, it's just gonna be me, and I'm just gonna do this as a chef for the remainder of my career, I would go private chef. You get paid more, work less hours, and once you get in, kind of like with that crowd, they kind of refer you to all they people.
Yeah, word of mouth. Okay.
Yeah. So nice. I would say definitely that.
So between our conversations, you do meal preps too. Can you talk about that?
So I get a lot of people who basically don't have the time to cook. So meal prep is something that I feel like is a easy way to gain customers and get some of your food. I think on my end, because Mediterranean is very straightforward, clean eating, it's easy for me to kind of add meal prep into that. So I have a few clients right now, but we actually going to grow that part of the business as well over the next couple months.
Nice.
That is
Do you,
big business. Yeah.
do you ship to other locations, or are you just doing meal preps in the Atlanta metro area?
Atlanta metro area right now, I think it can easily get to a point where I have shipped to New York privately before on my own, but yeah, for right now it's just the Atlanta area.
For that person that's inspired by you, what experience would you give an aspiring chef, or what advice would you give an aspiring chef? Someone want to enter into this game.
I would say definitely number one, understand that it's not gonna be easy. So, I know Instagram can make it look that way. But even when you get these events and whatever, like balancing food costs and all of that kind of stuff is something that you definitely learn. And then don't be afraid to reach out to other chefs and get advice and ask questions. I think a lot of times we want to have this, oh, I did it all on my own type of mentality when it's not even necessary. There's a lot of chefs that I know that helped me along the way, giving me advice and that type of thing. My mentors from culinary school and that type of thing. So I would say definitely, lean on that and be creative. Don't be afraid to try different things that, kind of expands your palate. What I see a lot of times on social media, you got the same guys who doing lamb chops, lobster, and mac and cheese over and over and over and over again. And not that there's nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, if you get somebody else that's of a different ethnicity, you're not gonna really be able to give them the same quality service because you don't know what you're doing. So you might as well, put the effort in to learn that.
I'm glad you're sending. I seen on Instagram where chefs came in and hell, they damn near built a whole new kitchen, had an
Yeah.
aquarium set up with sand and I mean it was amazing because at first I was wondering like what the hell are they doing? They had like the damn with the tomahawk steaks hanging off from
Yeah, I
hooks
saw that.
hanging down. So you seen that? I was like,
Yeah.
wow, they put in. He was drilling through bones and everything, and I'm like, okay.
Creating an experience, man.
I
Yeah.
mean, it was a hell of an experience. I mean, I give him that. I mean, he
Because see,
literally.
when you go above and beyond that way, it's like can't
Yeah,
nobody tell you what your price gonna be. Like
correct.
Exactly.
Huh?
you got to pay whatever I said it costs.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, because he transformed. I mean, he not only cooked, he transformed these people's kitchen.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right,
So
before we get up out of here, what's your go-to dish?
My go-to dish. Hmm. So I'm gonna say this. I started off, and Danielle knows this, with mac and cheese. That was like my no. I was selling pans of that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
you
Do it
find
got
out.
that sound? Do your mac and cheese got that sound?
You got
Yeah.
that wop sound.
We all know what that sound is.
Mm.
I'm going on mute.
I was gonna ask you
Yeah,
to make the
but
sound.
Got that wop sound.
yeah,
And
but
what
I'm
the
gonna
sound
I'm gonna
is?
say if I need to sell anybody on it, I'm definitely gonna go there. But I will also say, my palate has expanded so much that I mean it's hard to pick one thing, right? It's like I honestly most of the time when I do like consultations and stuff like that,
Okay.
I'll learn something about the person, and then like
Mhm.
I'll pick a dish that I feel like fit with you
Hmm.
know what they like, and then we'll go with that.
Okay.
Do they invite you to a lot of cook? Do you get invited to a lot of cookouts?
Honestly, I do get
Oh,
invited to a lot of events because most of my clients end up being like friends after a while
Yeah.
because they're just like, oh yeah, he cool. He just,
Yeah, cause you
like the
can cook
homeboy that can cook. So yeah, they
shit.
invite me to everything.
hey, can you?
You
What
know,
do they do? They invite you over and then they be like, hey,
Hey man, you want to whip
I
us
gotta
something
run
real
do
quick?
something. Yay,
hey
yeah,
man,
can you
yeah
watch this
man,
grill for me
I
real
got some
quick?
I got some steaks in there. You want to do your thing real quick? I'm like, nigga, I'm about to charge you.
On the radio.
Get your
I
money,
can, I
man.
can, I can see that happening. I know how we are because I probably be like, oh, come on over, all of mine, and they want to hand you the grill.
Since you the
Yeah.
chef, you might
And
as well.
the crazy thing is, I don't mind if it's like a couple of people. But if y'all come over there and the 15 people, hey, look, bro, I gotta
I
send
need
you an
that.
invoice.
I need that back.
You go to a family reunion, you automatically listed as a cook.
You the cook.
But you know what's crazy? Most of the time, my family, like Thanksgiving and stuff like that, the women in the family kind of take that serious. They don't even let me cook. My mom will be like, "Yeah, you can bring some
Get
ice
out my
cream.
kitchen.
Yeah, you bring some plates. You know, stuff like
Oh,
that."
that's
I
one
think
thing.
disrespect.
But you know, you bring up a good point there. That's one thing modern day women, if you look at older women, the kitchen and Thanksgiving and holiday, they took pride in those dishes. I
Absolutely.
mean, you that was your thing. If mac and cheese was your thing, you couldn't nobody outdo you. And
Somebody
back
else
in
all
those
mac and
days,
cheese, bro.
yeah, like back in my grandmother days, eating another woman, if you ate another woman's cooking that she didn't okay, you might
Yeah,
as
that
well
was
sleep.
blasphemy.
It was like cheating. You ate
Blasphemy.
I mean, you got beat. You ate her cooking? You eating somebody
Yeah,
else cooking? Oh, you
you
couldn't
must
do that.
love her. You ate her chicken.
Yeah, you ate her cooking. Yeah, don't come home. You might as well sleep with her.
Yeah,
But that's something that's changed with the culture.
Ain't no
So,
more
absolutely.
meatballs, bro. Ain't no more meatballs.
Nah.
Yeah.
so what are your future plans? I know you kind of alluded to that you had some bigger things. So in the restaurant business, what do we see Chef Todd from now or in the next 5 years or so?
Well, honestly, the way that the restaurant industry is going, like most of the fast food is talking about going toward like AI and all of that kind of, excuse me, robotics and stuff like that. But for
Mm.
me, having a few fast casual restaurants and then some experience based ones, um, where it's more chef driven, where I can really, put my stamp on it. I
Mm-hmm.
think Atlanta is a great place to grow that because as they, they're gonna support something that's good. So having a few there, maybe if I'm thinking about coming back to Orlando and doing one or two there as well. But yeah, so maybe about 4 or 5 ultimately.
So now you mentioned AI taking over. I just asked that you have real meat because now they are 3D printing meat now.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
So I tell people like, so what's going on now is that like once they can save labor costs with fast food, you're not gonna know what you're getting because
Yeah.
you just come into a drive-through pressing a button and they hand you a bag. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
so
ain't nobody in there
You
cooking that.
ain't
you don't
nobody in
know
there
what you're
cooking it.
getting. You don't know what you're getting now. I
No,
mean,
you
you
don't.
grocery store ground beef is what $6, $7 a pound. There's no damn way they can serve you a hamburger for $2
And you
and you
want
got ground
And make
beef.
money. No.
Yeah, and make money. So that's not beef you getting. Sorry to tell you, your Whopper and your Big Mac,
Yeah.
what are you eating? I don't know what you eating, but it ain't 100% pure beef, ground beef from a cow beef. Not it's so much you got to go in detail. Or organic, natural
grass fed.
cow.
Yeah.
That's really
That's why they
Yeah.
put all that on there because it's like, hey, look, no. And then they passed that law to I think I can't remember exactly the name of it, but I think it's basically called like the common sense law, where like they told you that it's bad. If you eat it and get sick, you can't sue them.
That's on you.
And which
Not
is
telling
why
me that's bad, and I would agree with that law if you told me. It's just like I love when they put calories on things because people say, "Well, you got to know milkshakes is not healthy," but I had no idea that one small damn milkshake was 1,500 damn calories without you telling me that. You know what I mean? And like I said, I didn't know that my fruit is genetically modified and my beef is 3D printed. It's made from some type of tissue of a human.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I would say this too, like on the private chef scene, that's why I tell a lot of my chef friends, like, getting into that because eventually that's going to be a high ticket item
yeah.
because you ain't going to know what you're getting from these places. And you're
Exactly.
going to have somebody that know how to source this stuff, know how to get real meat, and they have a connection with a farmer or something. But otherwise, man,
So
It'll
this
listen,
be a hot
so this is what we're
commodity.
gonna do. Livestock farm, because we're gonna have the lambs, the sheep. I don't know about sheep, but we're gonna have everything.
Lamb, hogs, tomatoes,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
name it.
Don't do it. Don't you do it.
So bad. Like, it's getting really bad. Everything is genetically modified. You know,
Yeah.
grapes are 10 times the size that they used to be. Chicken wings are not normal chicken wing sizes.
No.
They're the size of turkey legs.
And I love it.
And that's why I say, and then not trying to get off topic, but that's why I say, like, why is everybody at our age, because we're in our 40s, dying of cancer? And why is everybody dropping and, aggressive? It's what we're eating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
That's definitely what we eating.
Granted, I need my business to keep going, but slow it down, because it's like a lot of people are passing away our age with aggressive pancreatic cancer and all this stuff, but they can't figure out where it's coming from.
That's cool.
People were finding it hard to believe when I was growing up, you couldn't get certain fruits and vegetables certain times of year. It had to be in season.
Yeah.
It wasn't such thing as watermelon year round, oranges or tomatoes or greens. You couldn't get them. And then, like I said, I don't
buy
know.
watermelon in December. You
look at tomatoes. Tomatoes have a whole aisle now. We didn't have that many options growing up. All I remember was a cherry ripe vine. I don't even remember cherry tomatoes. All I remember is one tomato. It was an item of tomato, and you got that one red tomato, and that's all you got. Nowadays, you got the golden tomato, you got the cherry tomato, you got the sweet tomato, you got the vine ripe tomato, you got the organic tomato. I mean, I don't know where they're coming up with all this stuff from. All this stuff is lab created and can't be good for you. Before we end, you got any other upcoming projects or collaborations you excited about?
So again, the restaurant, which is Abby's Mediterranean Grill in Alpharetta, Georgia. And then I do have another project that I am working on as a pastry project. Now, I signed an NDA, so I can't really talk about it, but it's going to be in Midtown, and I think that this is going to definitely kind of take Atlanta by storm. I think that this product is something that that everybody will love, everybody will gravitate toward. So I'm excited about that, as well as the restaurant.
And so what's the restaurant name again?
Abby's Mediterranean Grill.
Okay. So listeners, if you're in the Atlanta metro area, Abby's Mediterranean Grill, tell them we sent you.
Yeah.
And what are your...
Stop by.
Yeah.
We got to come slide through there too, man.
We should. Oh, well, I'm going next week, so I don't... Y'all
I'm out of town next week, so
I'm looking for you.
Let me know how it is.
I'll be there.
And Chef Todd, can you provide us your social media handles? If anybody wants to...
So all my social media is Chef M Todd. So that's Chef MTODD. And that's Instagram. That's I don't got Twitter, but TikTok, Facebook, all of that.
Okay.
I'll go out and support this brother.
Yeah, man.
Open up your palate and get you some Mediterranean dish.
Yeah,
what would you suggest at the order?
Your palate up.
What would you suggest a newcomer, that's used to just chicken and ribs and barbecue, and so now they come into your restaurant and they ain't never ordered at a Mediterranean restaurant before. They want to. Well, what would you suggest?
So I would definitely say they got to try the hummus. I think we probably got the best hummus in the city for sure. Made from scratch. I mean, we soaking chickpeas, we, boiling them, all of that. So definitely try that. If they're looking to try something different that is not, the average everyday thing, I would say the lamb kofta kebabs, which is essentially like ground lamb. So we grind that fresh with, some herbs and spices. So I would definitely say try that. And then, if they don't want to venture too far out in the ocean, we're going to, I would say any of the chicken shawarma or the beef shawarma is really good as well.
I'm hungry.
Is that anything? Do you serve chicken wings there?
Nah, we don't serve chicken wings, but we do serve lamb chops though. Gotta have that lamb chop on that.
And what's the most affordable item, because you got to realize this is Atlanta. Some of them coming out there with what they say in Atlanta script club food. I'm just eating at the script club, shorty.
So we do have the gyro sandwiches.
Mm.
So
Okay.
those are, I would say, the most affordable thing that we have on the menu.
Okay.
Yeah. But our menu as a whole is pretty affordable. It's right in line with, like a median price range.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah,
Y'all
we
go
got
out and check out Chef Todd.
Absolutely.
Tell him Lifestyle After 5 sent you. And don't forget to check us out on www.aliafter5.com, where you can get our merchandise, and you can check us out on our YouTube, all our socials at Lifestyle After 5. And you can catch us here every Wednesday on WDJY 99.1. Chef Todd, I want to say it has been a pleasure to have you. We ask that everyone tune in next week, because I know you mentioned that people don't want to work, and there's a lot of people. You have a problem getting people to come into the kitchen and work, trying to find a good help. Good help is hard to find. Want everybody to tune in next week, because I guess next week has an answer. They have a startup company, and they have the answer to that problem. They're going to change the game with people who don't want to work, and they're going to answer that need for people, restaurants and different businesses that need help. They got the answer for that. So y'all tune in next Wednesday, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Can't wait.
I'm excited.
Always. Thank
Appreciate
you,
y'all for having me.
You're always welcome here on the Lifestyle After 5. Let us know.
Yeah, thank you,
All right.
Chef.
Appreciate y'all for having me.
Thank you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.